Come here. Want your feet? Want your feet? Come there. Little inquisitive boy. What's out there, hen? Don't know. You just clingy today? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now you want to chase the birds. Right. We'll get comfy cozy. Hi everybody, welcome to Laaleebee Knits. This is episode 6, I think. Is it 5 or is it 6? Crazy. Hello, welcome back. It is Sunday morning here. Well, is it Sunday afternoon? Oh, it's half 2. It's definitely not Sunday morning. I've had a slow day today. But yeah, a wee bit late for me recording the podcast. I usually like to record it Friday or Saturday, and then Neil will do his little edits on it and get it up for me for Sunday night, Monday. So I'm a wee bit late, but it's been one of those weekends where I just have had lots to do, not enough time to do it all in. Yeah, I hope you're well. It's very drizzly and rainy in Belfast today. It's properly autumn, so all the trees are orange and it's really nice walking through it, but it's also treacherous because the leaves make it so slippy, and I am known for falling a lot. My sister Sophie finds it absolutely hilarious. Every time I fall, I hear her somewhere, wherever she is, I hear her throwing her head back and laughing at me falling. So yeah, last week's episode was a little short. This week's probably going to be short too. I thought I would make it kind of sock themed. So I will give you a little update on some projects that I've been working away on. And then it's socks galore. So you'll be pleased to hear, maybe, that I have not purchased any yarn this week. No, actually, that's a lie. I purchased yarn for my granda for his scarf. That's not for me. And while I was purchasing yarn for granda, I did not slip in a little cheeky skein for myself, which I think is very strong-willed. No. A demonstration of very good willpower on my part. I resisted. And I wish I hadn't. No, I do. I'm glad I resisted. So anyway, I have been digging through my stash. And I will show all that good stuff later on. But let's get into some projects. I have one finished object, and I cannot show you it because it's a present for my friend who hasn't received it yet. I know she watches the podcast. Hello, Hannah. Your present will be in the post tomorrow. And I keep meaning to show a present she made for me. But it's downstairs. I keep meaning to show it because it is like wool themed. But I will definitely show that next time. It's downstairs sitting like on my little bookshelf, and I keep looking at it going, I need to show that, and then I forget. Sorry, there's just a neighbour watching me through her bathroom window. Good morning. Anyway, so I can't show you my finished object, and I can't even tell you what it is, but if you saw my Instagram stories during the week, you will know what it was, and I'm definitely going to knit myself one. So I'll be able to show you that and tell you about Hannah's in an upcoming episode. So I don't have my finished object with me. It was very small. It was the 2-night knit. But I have been working away on my Alpenglow. So it probably won't look very different to you. This is my Alpenglow by Andrew Murray. It's in Brooklyn Tweed Loft. Colours are Guanelli, Cast Iron, Ember, Cinder, Ember, something about candles, Tallow. This one is Campfire. Oh, well done. So I have finished the body, and I'm just about to go into my ribbing, and I was all set for doing my ribbing last night, and I've lost my needle. Don't ask me how many 2.75 needles needle tips I bought. I don't know where they are. I had to dig around. I can't find it. So I had to order another set and pick those up from Hank's Yarn Parlour on Tuesday. So I got to my where I need to stop for ribbing. I actually did an extra repeat of the pattern, this pattern here. So I measured it against a jumper that I love and I know fits me. I like the length of it. And I could have done without that extra repeat, but then I thought, you know, I've done that before and all of my jumpers are too short. So I did an extra repeat to see how it goes. Andrea Murray's pattern calls for whatever my gauge was, my row gauge. I was getting the same amount when I hadn't added the extra repeat in. But hers looks a bit cropped. And I think mine will fall in a funny way. So anyway, I've done the extra repeat. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I've broken my curse of knitting sweaters that are too short. We shall see. But I'm excited to get this off the needles. Very soon I'll be able to pick up here, do my little collar and get working on those sleeves. I could start the sleeves now and just put these little needles on hold until I get my bigger ones, which I might do. I might do that this afternoon. So that is my Alpenglow. It is on its way. I had wanted it done for October. It's now, what, 23rd of October? I'm a little bit behind, but it's okay. It'll be done. It'll be done before Christmas. So that is my Alpenglow. It's the only sweater I've been working on. I've put my Daphnis raglan on the back burner again. Now you be quiet, nice little hen. He's sitting on a beanbag right in front of me, so you can probably hear his rustling. You be nice and quiet, my good boy. He just wants attention. He thinks I'm talking to him, or he thinks I'm talking to my sisters on FaceTime, and he always wants to see and say hello to them on FaceTime. So just you put your head down. It's not for you right now. So that was my first project, and he did not talk to the dog, even though he's looking at me being like, Natalie, Mama, who are you talking to? That was my first whip. My Daphnis raglan is on time out just for the moment because I can't knit it and read at the same time. And what else is in time out? I have another Birkin on the needles that has been in time out for a long time. I don't think I'm going to pick that up anytime soon. But I did work on this because I can knit this and read at the same time. Although it won't look very impressive since the last time I showed you. It's still a little bit of progress. So that's where I was last time. This is my What the Fade shawl from Andrea Murray. Again, very Andrea Murray heavy show. This is knit out of a lot of different stash yarns. Bird Street, Eden Cottage Fibres, Ching Fibre, Madeline Tosh. I went through them all last episode. So I've faded in my next colour. I've nearly finished the fading, and then it'll be a little block of that purpley pink colour. So I'm just putzing away at this. I'm not really putting too much pressure on myself to get it finished. I just like working on it when I don't need to think about anything. And that's a little stitch marker from Hank's. I found out she hand makes those, so adorable. Not much else to say about that, except that I've been working away on it, which is nice. What's motivating for me knitting this is I want to finish this pink ball of yarn off so that I can reskein it up and have it a nice like little mini. It's a bit messy here, so I'm really looking forward to rewinding it, and I'll be able to do that once I've finished a couple more rows in this. So that's been quite motivating for me with that, but otherwise it's not, there's no big rush on it, so I'm just knitting it when I want to. And it's at a stage where I can pick it up. I don't have to worry too much about what where I am in the pattern, it's very easy to read read my knitting and where I am and pick up from what's left over. So what I did do is cast on another sock. And I have no business casting on another sock, but I did it. So let's move into what the grocery girls call sock talk. Do you ever just, I find the Grocery Girls podcast so comforting, and I'm sure I would not like somebody to go into my early episodes, even though I'm only in episode 5. I wouldn't like people to go in and watch old episodes, but for me, the Grocery Girls podcast is so comforting, and I go and rewatch. Like, I start from the start and I rewatch episodes like it's a TV program. Like it's a little comforting TV program that I watch. So I went back. I think my brain was there's too much going on in my brain and I couldn't concentrate on new TV shows. So I put old episodes of the Grocery Girls back on. And even Neil remembers, like, oh, that's the first time they talk about Hohi Locatelli. And I'm like, Neil, you love the Grocery Girls as much as I do. So anyway, they're doing their sock talk segment in their podcasts, and that's what I'm going to do now. Let me get it behind. This is a new sock that I cast on, and it's just a little stripy sock. It is in, this is Coop Knits. Don't ask me the colour. I don't even think I got the colour right the first time I said it. Coop Knits in some sort of bright orange, and this is Trick or Treat from, I believe, Biff Sugars. Chloe actually gave me her leftovers of her pair of socks. So I just thought I would do a little stripy sock. I love stripy socks. I find they go much faster than just a stockinette sock. And I've got a little spooky boy. Let me turn him around. Come on. Oh, there we go. Little spooky boy. Marking my place. So these are another little knit that I just put away at. I love my stripy socks. And this is a little mini from, I don't know what that mini's from. Oh, I think that mini's from the Bewitched set from Biff Sugars that I showed a couple weeks ago with the podcast with Chloe. So I cast that on. I haven't decided if it's going to be a shorty or a long sock. I've got loads of yarn. Maybe it'll be a long sock. I've done lots of shorties so far. So that's my little sock project. Other sock projects that are in the works. This is a little pattern that I'm kind of making up myself. Oh yeah, I haven't showed this with the cable yet. I only showed the other version. This is my what might end up being published. Don't know yet. These are what I'm calling Sweetest Pie socks in a lovely glittery Spellbound yarn. The colorway is called Spellbound from Giddy Ants. I couldn't remember it last time. So this is like a little kind of pie crust, and then I did a little cable down the side, and I think it's really cute. So this boy is ready for a heel, I reckon. I don't like knitting my socks too long. I might have mentioned that before. I have quite chunky calves and shins, so there's no point really in knitting my socks any longer than that because they just rumple down anyway and gather at my ankles. So that's probably as long as I'll go, and then I'll put a little heel flap and gusset in here. And if I write the pattern up, I'll write that heel flap and gusset in as well. So those are nice little autumnal socks, and I love that they're sparkly. So that's another little sock on the go. He just needs a heel, which is why he's stopped. And then last sock, not the last sock on my needles, but the last sock that I've been working on is using Biff Sugar yarns in, is it like Fairy Tale Far Away, something like that. Again, I showed it, and I have the right name for it in my podcast with Chloe, because we both got a little 50 grams out of this skein. It looks beautiful like that. It looks like it would stripe, but well, I guess it's kind of micro striping. This is just a little one I made up. It's just a kind of, there's Henry puttering about. It's just a little like kind of garter stitch rib. It doesn't really need to be a pattern for that. It's just I cast on 60 stitches because I'm using a 2.5mm needle, and then I did this little picot border. What you do for that is cast on your stitches, knit maybe 12 rows, and then this row is knit 2 together, yarn over, repeat across the row, and then you knit 1, make 1 in the row after it to get yourself back up to your 60 stitches, and then eventually what I'll do is I will sew that on the inside and have a little picot border. It kind of looks like a little castle or a little crown, maybe. Yeah, doesn't it look like a turret now that I'm holding it like this? These. Looks like a little turret. So somebody asked very kindly if I would show how I do my Afterthought heels. And I thought I would explain to the best of my ability how I do it, because these I knit for an Afterthought heel. So what I did was, and it's up to you, I did the pattern on the front, then I did a little bit of the pattern here before I just went into straight stockinette knitting for the foot. Whenever you're knitting an Afterthought heel, you are essentially going to pick up stitches and put in what is effectively a toe into your heel. So, easiest way I've found to do it is to knit until you have your toe, and then measure how long your toe is. Helps if I don't drop it. Measure how long your toe is. I think mine works out at about 1.5, 1.75 inches. That's how long your heel is going to be. Now, if you have a higher instep, you can add a few more rows before you start your decreases, but use this as a way of measuring where to cut your toe in, your heel in. I keep calling it a toe in like previous videos. I'm like, and then I'm putting an Afterthought toe in. I'm not putting an Afterthought heel in. I mean heel, I don't mean toe. Starting it. So I've knit my sock, I've knit my toe. I'm now going to measure how long my toe is. Then what I'm going to do is on the back of it, I'm going to take that measurement of my toe. I'm going to take the measurement of my foot. Say my foot is 9 inches long from toe to heel. I will then take the measurement from my toe away from my full foot length. So if my foot is 9 inches and I knit a 1.5 inch toe, then I'm going to cut my heel in at, quick maths, 7.5, because once I knit this here, it's going to add that length, and then eventually you will have a sock that will fit your foot. Let me show you. I feel like Blue Peter. Here's one I had earlier. So it will look like that. Here's your toe, here's your heel. So does it make sense what I'm saying? Where you take the measurement of this, you measure your whole foot, and you cut in where that heel is going to go, because that heel is going to add length to your total foot. So, hope that makes sense. A bit garbled. I'll answer questions in the comments if you have them. So anyway, that's how to measure where to cut your heel in. Once you go to start cutting your heel, you want to take, you can do this on DPNs, but I do it on Magic Loop. I think it's much easier. You basically take one row and you pick up stitches along half of that row, the back half. So this is a 60 stitch sock, so I picked up 30 stitches along here. And then I left a row. Wonder if this will focus. I left a row, you can see in the middle there, and underneath that I picked up another 30 stitches. So once you've picked those up on your needles, both needles point out this end, point out the same end, it will look like that with a row. I wonder if I hide, it'll focus on it. Yeah, with a row of stitches in the middle, in between those two. Then what you do, if you have a cord, pull it like this because it's much easier to get in. You've got a wee bit more wiggle room here. So that's what we look like. One row's picked up, one row's free, and another row's picked up. Then what you do is, let me find, actually I'll point with this. Then what we do is we go to the middle and we pick up one of these stitches. I'll pick that up, show you. One stitch in the middle, and you snip that stitch. So if I have scissors, that would be helpful and could show you what I mean. I do have scissors. Let me find them. I'm not as organised as I wanted to be. Let me get my stitches. My scissors. Okay. So I've pointed out one row in the middle of my stitches. It doesn't really matter if it's perfectly equal or not, whatever. Then you cut that stitch. And only this stitch. Ta-da! Okay, so now you have that with one snipped stitch in the middle. And what you do is you go through with either your needle or with like a little darning needle, and you pull out this little thread, and it'll look like noodles. I'm not sure if you can see this properly. See how I'm starting to unravel that? But these stitches are on my needle, and these stitches are on my cable needle too. So I go through these. Can you see? I go through these and undo all my stitches. Neil will cut this if it's too long and boring. And what I want to do is pull all of these stitches out until I get to maybe 2 stitches at the end. And I'll show you what that looks like. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I've unravelled all of those stitches. So you can see that they're still in. These ones I've unravelled. And I've left 2 stitches on the end. And what that will mean is that you won't have a hole to close up. Now when you do a heel any other way, there's usually a little gap between your stitches. If you leave those 2 stitches at the end, that will close up the gap and you won't have to worry about it. So I've unravelled that side. I'm going to do the exact same on this side. The reason why you only snip 1 stitch is that you want enough yarn to be able to sew this in at the end. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. BRB. Okay. So now I have cut in room for my Afterthought heel. I've got 2 ends that are long enough for me to sew in, and I'm ready to go. I've left 2 stitches on this end, 2 stitches on that end. What I'll do now is pull my cords and put my stitches on. And what I'm going to do is knit this as if it was a toe. So what I tend to do is between 3 and 5 rows. So I will just attach my toe colour, my heel colour, my contrast colour. I'll attach it in and I will knit, see these 2 that we've left on, I'll still knit those and that will definitely close up any gaps. So I will knit across these stitches, turn, knit across the way I usually do, knit between 3 and 5 rows and then start my toe decreases. And that is how I got a little Afterthought heel like this. So I hope that's helpful. I know it was a little bit garbled. I didn't really write a script to explain it. I just kind of winged it. But that's how I cut in my Afterthought heels. And it's scary cutting your knitting, but you're really only cutting one stitch. Don't do what I did. The first time I did it, I watched a video for about 2 minutes, got the gist of it, and then confidently cut all of the stitches across. What that means is that instead of these long strands that you have to sew in, you have no strands to sew in, and the whole thing unravels. It's not what we want. Just one stitch is all you snip, and then that means my wee toe will go in there, my heel will go in there. I'm wild for that. My heel will go in there. No fuss. So, hope that was helpful. I'm sure it was clear as mud. But like I say, I will answer questions in the comments if I can help any more. And definitely there are more professional videos on YouTube showing you how to do Afterthought heels, but that's a little quick demonstration of how I do them. Okay, I need a little beverage after that. I need a little sip. Right. Okay, last little segment of the podcast. Like I said, did not purchase any yarn for myself, and I have not opened my advent calendar. You'll be pleased to hear. So that's good, well done me. What I did do instead is take a little dive through my mini skein stash. Because I love knitting stripy socks. And I meant to bring some more stripy socks that I've knit, but I didn't. And I have these little ones that I've shown you already. And maybe I'll do a little stripy sock parade show in another episode. But I love knitting scrappy stripy socks. I'm very fussy. I'm a typical Virgo. I don't like messy stripy socks. I like them to match. And I like them to coordinate and make them look intentional. And you know, all power to you for doing little scrappy. Somehow scrappy socks tend to look really aesthetic anyway on Instagram. Mine do not. Mine look ugly. And I knit a pair of scrappy socks and I hate them. So I shan't be doing that anymore. I need a little bit of forethought and planning for my socks. But I thought I would bring in my mini skein stash to show you. Now, I have a problem with buying mini skeins in that I buy them all the time. So I'm not going to show you all of them. I've got this little thing. This bag is full to the brim with other minis and ends of things and mini sets, and this is a little other basket of minis. These are not the ones that I'm talking about, I don't think. No. I pulled together some more seasonal ones to talk to, because I have so many mini skeins that I would bore you to tears, number one, and also they're seasonal. I have them seasonally. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was one of my favourites for mini skeins. My favourite brands for mini skeins. And this is, you'll have heard of them already, Botanical Yarns. They do the best mini skein sets. They've also got a really great podcast. It's absolutely hilarious. It makes me holler. Holler? Who am I? Makes me laugh every time I watch it. These are these. This was the pin cushion flower mini skein set, I believe. I've already knit myself a pair of socks, as you've seen. There's so much yarn left here. And I love how the colours work together. So I will definitely be making another set of socks, maybe stripies just this time, in this set. Now, the reason I wanted to pull out Botanical Yarns is because every now and then they do a kind of mini skein grab bag type situation, and they're doing one at the minute. I think it's maybe 8 minis for not very much money. It's not 30. Is it £30? I mean, I am very impressed. Let me just double check it. I'm very impressed with myself. Maybe it is £30. Let's check and see. Minis, yarn, mini skein sets. Mystery mini skein bag sale, £18, which is incredible. Down from 40. And you get 160 grams of mini skeins, both caked up and individual skeins. I have bought one of those before and loved it. It's great for socks when you need a contrast heel to a cuff. I've been able to pull one of their mini skeins out of my stash. Lots of my little random skeins are from Botanical Yarns because I got one of those. And I was thinking, if you get 160 grams, that's probably about 8 mini skeins. For £18, you could buy 3 of those and create your own advent calendar. I'm just saying, you could do that for a pretty decent price. Now, obviously, you can't, like, you might get this 2 of the same or whatever, but if you were to order that and then give it to your other half and get them to put it in like a little advent calendar that you fill yourself, that would be an idea. I could have an advent calendar for November. I really can't buy any more yarn. And I can't. But great idea. So these are this is their kind of colorway. It's just stunning. So that's one little set that I wanted to show, and I wanted to talk about them. I also bought this ages ago from them. I think this is one of the first mini skein sets that I bought. It is a faded set from Botanical Yarns. And I was thinking I could probably do some colour work and put it into a jumper. Hang on, it's easier to show like that. Ooh, kind of matches my lipstick. Nice. So I have a little burgundy faded set from them. I also bought the 52 weeks of 52 weeks of socks, not 52 weeks of summer. The 52 weeks of socks book, and they have a pattern written specifically for a fade. So that would be nice, wouldn't it? And very autumnal. Love this colour. Love that colour. So it's another little mini skein set that I have that I love. And then these are, I don't know what, it's a mix of pixie. It's definitely a pixie one. But I thought they were very kind of getting into festive colours. I just have mini skeins in my stash. These could be Botanical Yarns that I got in that grab bag. I can't honestly remember, but that's a little colourway that I put together that would make really lovely autumnal socks. Love those colours together. And then why have I got this? No. Oh, that's very Christmassy. Can I get rid of you? That would be nice and Christmassy. I do prefer that though. So that's lovely. These are who are you? Pixie Yarns. Pixie Yarns do a really great selection of mini skeins. They have a really broad spectrum of minis actually. And I just went in, I actually ordered these to be like kind of St. Patrick's Day socks. Let me show you them. They kind of give me a March vibe, but also see if you were to add like a red. That's kind of Christmassy. Maybe the darker red. That's too pink. No, definitely not. It's kind of Christmassy, right? Anyway, I ordered those to be like kind of March socks. And I initially did colour work. They were very cute. They were the sprocket socks. They were my first colour work socks and they did not fit my little chubby feet. I had gone up to 2.5, but it just wasn't enough. I needed to go up to 2.75. Speaking of, I've lost them. I don't know where my 2.75 is. So it's in the mail anyway. So maybe I'll give that another go because the sprocket pattern's very cute. there's more little minis from Pixie. And then another thing that I like to do is especially if I have more than 30 grams of a skein of yarn left. This is definitely more like 40, 45. This I knit my friend Denise. Hello Denise. She wanted a shout out. I knit my friend Denise a little hat out of this. And I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can. There's that little blue fleck through it. So I thought they would look really cute together. Because that little mini would really pull that blue out. And they've been like a nice autumnal kind of sock with some frost pulled in, maybe. So yeah, I like to match my yarns. If I have over 30 grams left, I like to make a little sock set out of it. I don't want to just throw it away. I don't want to waste it. And I'm doing my best not to buy yarn without knowing what's in my stash and what I can make up myself, because I don't want to be wasteful, and I don't want to buy 4 skeins of random yarn when I could buy a sweater quantity of yarn and get another jumper. You know, I need to be sensible and not live beyond my means. What's the phrase? Champagne tastes and a beer budget. So anyway, I think it's good to use up my stash, and I love these colours together. So I thought I would just pull a couple of minis out. Got lots of plans for Christmas socks, lots of leftovers for Christmas. Speaking of, Bird Street Yarns do such nice Christmas colourways. And they have been advertising theirs all week, the past couple of weeks actually. And I have one skein from Bird Street that I didn't knit last year because I bought so many from them. So I've got a skein of Drunken Santa that is still in its hank, so I'm excited for that. I've got leftover Satsuma in my stocking, which is a lovely blue. I have a couple of Christmas yarns left over, so I'll probably do, once we get Halloween out of the way, I'll do a little Christmas sock plan type thing in an episode. But that's everything I'm going to show you today. Slightly longer than last week. So what's coming up in my next couple of weeks? A very exciting weekend. Next weekend, my best friend gets married. So we're there for the whole weekend. We're away down to the venue. It's a big hotel estate type place. We're away down there the day before, and then staying right through till the day after. That'll be around Halloween, and then as soon as I get back, the research team are over for a week-long research project, meaning lots and lots to do that week. So it's going to be a pretty hectic week. I have a big deadline this Friday, which I need to meet before I go away for the wedding, and then straight into that busy work week with those guys. I have to present on my research, so I need to write that. So I'm busy, and I wonder if I'll be able to podcast. I won't be able to podcast next week because of the wedding and the deadline. And then the week after that, they're over. I say there's one person over and the other one's zooming in. So they're over, and it's going to be busy. So we'll see how we go. I will keep you updated on Instagram anyway. And I will try my best to just keep putzing away at my little socks. And I do want a pair of Halloween socks finished, because I haven't finished any of my Halloween socks yet. Not even my little skull ones. So lots of knitting plans. Not enough time. I also have to think of what I'm going to bring there, because I'm sure there'll be time, like downtime, when I can knit a little bit. So I need to figure that out. But that's everything from me. Little hen eventually went and slept on the sofa, so that's good. That's everything from me. I hope you have a really good week. Like I said, give me questions if you have them about the Afterthought heel in the comments, and I'll do my best to reply. And I will see you next time. Bye. I forgot to say what I'm wearing. This is my... why did I not plan this before I just hit record? This is my Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie May Designs in John Arbon's Yarnadelic in their Pink Moon colourway. And I got the yarn from Hank's Yarn Parlour. Casey helped me pick the colour. Yeah, I still haven't blocked this. I've worn it a couple of times, so I really should block it because I think it'll loosen up even more and bloom a little bit. But yeah, a little bit scratchier than a merino, but very nice. So yes, I forgot to say what I was wearing, and now I really am away. Bye. There's a hole in my jumper. Last week there was something in my hair. This week it's a hole in my jumper. I shall fix this. I really am away now.